Breaking news. Welcome to Lafree's Concept TV. Freedom for Nnamdi Kanu. An idea whose time has come. Magnus Onyibe. Freedom for Nnamdi Kanu. An idea whose time has come. Magnus Onyibe. To my dear listeners, before I go into details, ensure you like, subscribe and share. Now the details. In my column of 14 July, titled Biafra from Monologue to Dialogue, I had a tinge of optimism that the incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB leader facing sedition charges from the federal government of Nigeria, was about to end. The optimism was informed by the fact that the National Assembly and Presidency had waded into the matter, especially when Arewa youth issued Igbos a so-called quit notice from the north, and all other members of the Nigerian Union started threatening to expel members of other ethnic groups in their domain. In that 2017 media intervention, which is 7 years ago, I made the case below. As the cry for partitioning of Nigeria along ethnic, cultural and religious lines, which mimics the partitioning of Africa amongst European countries during the Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885, grows louder. It is pertinent to note that the conflict is being fueled by policies steeped in politics as opposed to equity and justice. This is why allowing the Igbo agitation in particular and similar self-determination struggles amongst the multifarious ethnic nationalities in Nigeria to remain a monologue rather than a dialogue has been dangerous, if not reckless. And it is therefore very heartening that both the Presidency and the National Assembly, NAS, are now weighing in to resolve the conflict, as evidenced by recent consultations and media comment from both acting President Yemi Osinbajo and Senate President Bukola Saraki. I am pretty convinced that, like the duel, it has dawned on most Nigerians that disputes related to ethnic nationalism can no longer be attended to via the surface of window dressing measures that have been the attitude of authorities in Nigeria. My prognosis in 2017, which is 17 years ago, was wrong, as evidenced by the fact that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, was rearrested in 2021 and has remained under detention. So my optimism that the Presidency and National Assembly had finally found the courage and formula to heal the old wounds in the Easterners and Northerners relationships, which has been fractured since the unfortunate civil war ended some 54 years ago, was a misjudgment. Perhaps that is principally because it was not an idea whose time had come, but today it appears to me as it is an idea whose time has come. The quote, Nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come. Is often attributed to Victor Hugo, a renowned French writer. It encapsulates the notion that when the conditions are ripe and the world is ready for a particular concept or change, the impact of that idea can be immense and transformative. According to the proponent of the thought process, the power of an idea lies not just in its intrinsic qualities, but also in the context in which it emerges. They argue further that a groundbreaking idea that resonates with the needs, values, and aspirations of a society can spark significant change and progress. And conclude that when an idea aligns with the prevailing sentiment, challenges, or opportunities of a given time, it can gain momentum and catalyze action on a large scale. The current efforts and activities surrounding the renewed call to free Nnamdi Kanu tick all the boxes highlighted above. In fact, from the duties of the concept of an idea whose time has come, the imminent release of IPOB leader Kanu is an example of a zeitgeist of a time spirit. One would argue that it is a historical moment where the idea of concept, a spirit, if you will, is perfectly received by a cultural movement that surrenders to its utility as dictated by historical necessity. In fact, the scenario described above aligns with the current dynamics of political change in our country, which has brought a progressive president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to be at the helm of affairs at the Aso Rock Villa presidential seat of power. Thus, it can be said that he has become the one put in a position to resolve the over half a century-old agitation by the Igbos in a manner that would be most beneficial by integrating them into one united Nigeria, which they have been craving. That is because, being a neoliberal free market economy adherent, President Tinubu understands the economics of scale and appreciates the benefit of a large population being enjoyed by the likes of China and India, which have the largest and second largest populations in the world and have leveraged the population advantage to also be the first and second fastest growing economic